Hello again. My apologies for not putting out more. I need to put out more, but I've just been busy. My cameras finally came in, and I'm not getting quite the results I had hoped for. Even it being in 4K, the resolution, I'm not getting the resolution I thought I was going to get. But that's a subject for another talk. But the one question I get often is the cost of living. What is it like in Southeast Asian countries? Now, I can only talk about Thailand because this is the country that I chose, but you can find very similar results in, say, Vietnam or the Philippines, sometimes even better results. But again, I chose Thailand. Now, with Thailand, there's all kinds of places you can go to, such as Bangkok, um, Phuket, Krabi, um, Pattaya. I chose Chiang Mai. Now, Chiang Mai is about 2.6 million people in there, and it's fairly modern. Not as modern, say, as Bangkok, but yeah, it's still up there. And it's very nice. And you'll find a lot of modernization in a lot of those other cities I mentioned. But the only thing I can give you when it comes to cost of living is my own example. Now, I have a house, and the only reason I have a home is because I am married to a Thai national. Now, if I wasn't, I could rent one, but there will be an added cost to that. But my mortgage is about 434 a month. Let's list this down here. When it comes to if you want to rent a townhouse, stuff like that, that can vary. Now, utilities runs me on average, I want to say about 110. And we're talking about running AC all day long, such like that. And then I have internet. Internet runs me about 35, and I get 1 gigabyte speeds. Now, if I don't want 1 gigabyte speeds, I can get that down to as little as $15. When it comes to cell phone service, my cell phone is roughly about, I carry two, and that is with my US carrier and my Thai carrier. Because I still want to be able, I have to have contact back in the States because I still have a job back in the States. And they have to reach me, and calling an international number off my Thai line. We'll go into that at another time. But I do carry two lines, and that runs me roughly about $150. Now, when it comes to insurances such as health, auto, and home, the biggest one being health insurance. Now, health insurance, they want you to pay the premium up front for the entire year. You can get that for as little as $1,000 a year to as much as $2,000 to $3,000 a year. Now, I chose $1,000 a year, which is really good, and I get all the necessary bang and whistles, but it's only for in Thailand. It doesn't cover me if I leave the country. Now, if I wanted something like that, like if I that this year I decided I was going to go back to the States or travel abroad in the Southeast Asian countries, I could spend twice that and they would cover me that. So for $2,000, I could easily get the maximum insurance. Now, that's with the carrier that I have. We'll talk about that on another time. But if you decide to go with a more expensive carrier, a more recognized brand, then of course it's going to cost more. Now, when you got car payments, my car, I have a 2016 Nissan Almera, which is about the US equivalent of a Sentra. Actually, it is a Sentra, just it's rebranded here. And my payments on those are about 190, but I only got about 2 more years on that, and then after that, that's nothing. So, food, I put down about $350. You can actually get away with a lot less. If you cook your own meals and live frugally, you can get that for as little as, say, less than $200. Or you can actually eat out on food courts and in food markets and do the same for almost the same price. The only thing that you have to watch out for is that we don't have the local bugs. So if they're sourcing all their food sources naturally here, you're going to pick up possibly a bug that's not going to be, you're not going to be equipped to combat. And that's one of the things that you have to watch out for, because there are a lot of cases of food poisoning. Now, I put down miscellaneous. Miscellaneous, that's where if you want to go visit something or go see movies or, just go out and actually have a decent dinner. But again, your mileage may vary. So I spend roughly over between $1,600 to $1,700 a month. Now, if the average person is just collecting Social Security and you retire at 66, you can easily afford to live here because you'll be collecting about $200 to $2,200 a month. Now, if you have investments and a decent portfolio, you might be able to afford a heck of a lot more. But again, it is up to you. As I mentioned before, your mileage may vary. But that right there is my expenses. Hopefully that helps, and thanks for listening.